Hello, this is Prince of Somnia, and welcome back to more Let's Play Dragon Quest VI. Today, we're starting off from near the Dreamworld version of Clearvale because there's something we can do in the general vicinity of the area. Namely, we could take the flying bed over here, and then walk over here, and take a look at our magic carpet to go for a magic carpet ride. We basically need the magic carpet in order to access this hole in the ground. Yes, you thought we were done with these, but we're not. And where there are holes in the ground, there are of course Dread Fiends that are responsible for them, and that's what we're going to work towards dealing with today. Anyway, if we drop down here, we're basically in a really secluded area that we can't take any sort of vehicle to, not even our, actually, can we take our boat here? We probably could, but I don't know why I would. Anyway, that doesn't matter. The shrine is what we're looking for over here. You can see here. Ah, okay. We never actually visited this place before, but basically there are these panels that have symbols on them. Whatever they mean. And basically, the way we solve the puzzle to figure out what the appropriate symbols are is by using Peep on the legendary equipment. By the way, I went ahead and styled all of my legendary equipment earlier. It gave us an attack and defense bonus for doing so. You can see here, instead of 255, now our defense is 280. And additionally, the Sword of Ramius could be forged twice at the forge, and I did both. It used up almost all of my money, but, you know, it was worth it. But anyway, the way you arrange the symbols is basically in the way that the equipment is held on Rex's person. And so, yeah, the sword has a lightning bolt on it. The armor has a heart. The helm has a sun. And the shield, which by the way could not be styled whatsoever for some stupid reason, is marked with a pair of crossed swords for, again, some reason. And the way you arrange them is by stepping on these symbols as though the pieces of equipment were represented by said symbols and worn on a right-handed swordsman with his face facing towards the screen. So, let's see. This one needs to be a sun. This one needs to be the crossed swords. This one needs to be the lightning bolt. And then this one needs to be the heart. Now, make sure you've saved before coming here, by the way. I guess I should have mentioned that before. Because once you've done this puzzle, you'll be locked into a bit of an event. Sorry I didn't mention that before. Because it's boss time against Stormsgate Citadel. We're literally fighting a castle. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my favorite boss fights in this game. It's super cool. But anyway, Stormsgate Citadel has 3,000 HP and some pretty beefy attack and defense, but it's not that fast. It can crush the entire party, basically dealing about half physical damage to everyone, do a standard attack. It can use Thin Air, Kaswoosh, and Magic Barrier. And those are all basically random, what it does. Magic Barrier is a little bit more complicated than just giving it resistances. Basically, the way the game stores resistances is like with a special resistance table that is way more than what you actually need to know in order to beat this game. So, yeah, don't worry about it. Anyway, we want to open up with... So, well, to start off with Magic Barrier, if it's out, then Sap and Knuckle Sandwich won't work on this guy very well. Otherwise, if it's not out, Sap has about a 50-50 chance of working, and Knuckle Sandwich has a 15% chance of missing, so that's actually pretty nice. We're going to start off with Oomphin' Carver with the Sword of Ramius. Then we're going to have Carver use Focus Strength. Let's see. It's in here somewhere. It's probably earlier on, isn't it? I have so many pages of these damned abilities. Focus Strength. Amos and Millie should open up by Ka buffing a bunch. The Stormsgate Citadel doesn't actually have an answer to Ka buff, so it'll help mitigate his physical damage. It won't really do much for us when it comes to thin air, but that's just something we'll have to deal. But yeah, you should have Ka buff if you've worked on Priest for your characters, which both Millie and Amos have. Well, we can't do much about Kaswoosh, other than just eat it to the face. So yeah, Kaswoosh will do a lot of damage to you, but we'll mostly be okay. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the trend with how this fight goes. Actually, Oomph Amos, and we'll have Carver use Knuckle Sandwich as soon as I find it. Let's see. We've gotten 2 rounds of Ka buffs going on, but I don't think Amos has Sap. So we'll have you use that. Do you have Sap? You have Ka-Sap, which I guess it'll do. Oh, there goes Magic Barrier. Looks like this Knuckle Sandwich is gonna miss. Or not! Look at that damage! Oh, I've been waiting for this moment for so long. Yeah, with Oomph and Sap on, with Oomph and Sap activated, Knuckle Sandwich does a ridiculous amount of damage. Like, especially with Focus Strength activated too. Like, if I'm particularly lucky and this Magic Barrier wears off kind of quickly, I might be able to do upwards of 1,000 damage, which is, for Dragon Quest, obscene. Let's see, you don't have Focus Strength, so... You also don't have Double-Edged Slash either. So... yeah... Let's try a Knuckle Sandwich, I guess. I have no way of knowing what his resistances are when Magic Barrier is out, so it's a little difficult for me to determine what is and is not a good idea. But, you know, we'll feel it out. Ouch. Let's see. Yeah, let's have you use Focus Strength. You're gonna be out of sync with Carver for a while, but that's okay. I don't remember if Double-Edged Slash is proportional damage. I'm a little worried about using it, but it's more guaranteed than Knuckle Sandwich right now, so... Fortunately, with the Meteorite Bracer, Millie will basically go first for the rest of the game, so that's very handy. There's Thin Air. Nice! It was proportional damage, so we ate a lot out of that, but it's, nothing we can't heal off ourselves. Why don't you, Amos, actually take care of some healing while you're here? So we can get another well, actually he has Magic Barrier out, never mind. Yeah, we'll hustle. Oh man, we're gonna do so much damage to this guy. Assuming he doesn't do so much damage to me. Yeah, there we go. There's another swoosh. I also really love how animated Stormsgate Citadel is. Although not anymore, because it's freaking dead. Yeah, Stormsgate can be a difficult fight just because of how much damage Swoosh and Thin Air do. Especially if he uses them to the exclusion of basically all else, like he kind of was in that last fight. Well, not that last fight, but this fight. But the fact that he doesn't have immunity to sap, and the fact that you just got a free casting of oomph, just kind of makes Stormsgate a chump, because he eats so much damage. I wasn't kidding when I said I could have done 1,000 damage to this guy, Knuckle Sandwich, if he hadn't set up Magic Barrier when he did. That's actually possible. Anyway, we could keep going forward, but I'm a damn coward, so we will not. You can return to the shrine at any time in order to rest up, recover, and then continue on. And you definitely want to take advantage of that, because you really want to save before you go anywhere right now. I believe if we go to Turnscoat, we'll have a nice and... actually, no, we still have to go through Clearvale, because this place is surrounded and we'd have to sail otherwise, and I don't want to deal with that. So, yeah. I'm going to take care of my healing stuff, and I'll meet you back at Stormsgate Citadel. Okay, we're back in Stormsgate Citadel. And unfortunately, there are guards everywhere. Huh? Lord Dhuran?
They are my most esteemed guests. Step aside and let them pass in peace.
As you wish, my lord. Scree! Future me in editing, you better put an echo filter on that voice, or I'll be really mad if you don't. So yeah, this guy's pretty nice, I guess. He's just gonna let us get free reign of the place. Whoa! Look at that guy! Look at those abs, dude! Uh-oh. Well, looks like we're already face to face with our friend the Dread Fiend over here, so let's get it on.
At last we meet. I am Dhuran, ruler of Stormsgate Citadel. I see you possess the 4 legendary relics. You have my respect, even as my foe. Seeking out the legendary relics from around the world and making it to this castle is no small feat. Surely any human capable of such an undertaking would pose a serious threat to all monsterkind. Thus I have been waiting here for your arrival, waiting to nip this growing menace in the bud once and for all. Rex, that is your name, is it not? In all honesty, I'm delighted. I was convinced no human could ever collect these relics, but you have proved me wrong. Now I wish to see the power you possess. My pulse is racing for the first time in eons. Come now, my minions. Let the entertainment begin.
So, Stormsgate Citadel isn't a traditional dungeon like we've had for the other Dread Fiends. Instead, it's a boss gauntlet! Yay! Well, not really, but the first boss is definitely one of the more difficulty ones, or not difficulty ones, but one of the most difficult ones. In fact, it might actually be straight up the most difficult fight out of the entire boss gauntlet we're about to face. We've got two enemies here, the Uber Killing Machine and the Iron Tortoise. The Uber Killing Machine has upwards of 500 HP, but it hits like a goddamn truck, has 310 attack, and it always attacks twice per round. So, this thing can kill you really quickly. And I do mean really quickly. In fact, we want to actually defend, and have someone cast buff on Carver real fast. Probably Amos, because Millie will probably die instantly, and I'm more okay with Amos losing his life in this fight. Yeah, there you go. 112 damage, 56 damage. Oof. It's not pleasant. So basically what we're going to have Carver do is he's going to spam Forbearance constantly. And we're going to have Millie and probably Amos continue to heal and buff him. This is a lot easier to do if you have the Sacred Armor on Carver, so we might just switch to that. But yeah, that's what we'll do. Now, the Armored Tortoise is not nearly as powerful as the Uber Killing Machine, but it has access to Selflessness, which can be a pain when trying to get rid of the Iron Turtle. Or, not the Iron Turtle, the Uber Killing Machine. So, yeah. Fortunately, the Uber Killing Machine is not immune to Knuckle Sandwich, or more accurately, has no resistance to Knuckle Sandwich, so we're just going to have Rex use the Sword of Ramius and then spam Knuckle Sandwich as much as possible. Let's see. Carver, like I said, he's going to be using Forbearance. It's basically critical that we keep him alive at all costs, and then Millie should make sure our HP is as high as possible. Ouch. The Tortoise can cast Bounce on itself, and the Uber Killing Machine might start with Bounce on when the fight begins, but that's nothing you need to worry about at all. So let's go Knuckle Sandwich, try to get rid of the Uber Killing Machine, and keep doing what we're doing, I guess. Oh, Turtle's covering the machine again, that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, the turtle has a 50% resistance to Knuckle Sandwich, so those are very likely going to end up being lost rounds, but there's nothing I can do about that at all, actually, so... that move that the turtle is doing there is called Defending Champion. It's kind of like defending itself, but it reduces damage down to 90% of its original value, so yeah. You basically won't be doing damage to the Iron Tortoise when that mode's on at all, so oh well. Now, for what the Uber Killing Machine does, it has a lot of different attacks, but most of them are either normal physical damage or 1.25 times physical damage. So like Metal Slash and Dragon Slash, they don't do anything extra because we're not metal enemies or dragons at all. So, yeah, that doesn't matter. So yeah. Hustle Dance is an option for healing constantly. You can also use the Staff of Ghent. It's about as good. So, that'll help. We got rid of the Iron Turtle, which I guess works. If you're particularly unlucky, then yeah, the Iron Turtle's probably going to die first, but if you're lucky enough to be able to wail on the Uber Killing Machine, then the rest of the fight's really easy because you can just have the three guys spam Knuckle Sandwich until the UKM is dead, so... yeah, that fight can be really dicey if you don't get Forbearance or buff up fast enough.
Good show. If you had been defeated, you would have betrayed all my expectations. But your next challenge is of a different order. This opponent is one of your fellow humans. He was led here by his overwhelming desire to grow more powerful. Some fight for the good of the world. Others fight purely for themselves. Now, we shall set these two ideals against one another. Come now, my minion. Allow me to introduce you to the world's strongest warrior. A man who offered his soul to me. His name is Terry. Now gather all your strength and prepare to do battle to the death.
The second boss fight is against Terry. Terry has 2,500 HP. Why aren't we allowed to have the same thing? And 50 MP. He doesn't have nearly as much attack as the Uber Killing Machine, and in fact also has less defense than the Uber Killing Machine does, which is hilarious enough. His attack pattern's random. Flame Slash and Gust Slash each do slightly more damage than normal. He has Falcon Slash, which you've seen before, Multi-Slice, which you've seen before. He can cast Kasap, which is a little bit annoying, but nothing we can't deal with. And his most dangerous move is Thunderbolt Blade, which is basically like casting Zap on the entire party. Thunderbolt Blade is basically the only thing you really need to worry about, because he doesn't really have super great answers to just about every other ability we have, so yeah. That's kind of a trend with some of the weaker bosses. This definitely is a much easier fight than the one we just went through. So we're gonna buff up Carver, well, not buff, but we're gonna oomph up Carver, focus strength. Let's see. He does have Kasap, so it might not necessarily be worth our while to use Ka buff, but Amos isn't going to be doing super much else, so I might as well just have him do that. Other than that, we're going to hustle dance to keep our HP up. You want to make sure to end this fight with as much HP as you can have. Just saying. Okay, now that's particularly unlucky, but oh well. Let's see. He has a 50% resistance to Knuckle Sandwich, by the way, so we don't want to bother with that. We're just going to focus strength double-edged slash instead. Hustle dance. Ow. Actually, not that much ow. Yeah, a couple rounds of that and he'll be dead extremely fast. Let's see. Where's focus strength? There it is. I guess if I feel particularly bad about some situation, we can use Forbearance with Amos instead of Carver, but probably not now. Let's just go for that. Try to keep ourselves healed as much as possible. Yeah, that's not damaging at all, or dangerous. Let's see, the two boys are going to sauce up, and then they're going to double-edge slash. Kind of wish Amos had some sort of multi-healing move, but oh well. This is what we're eventually going to get the Sage of Stone for anyway, so... Hey, there's Kasap. Nuts. Oh, he's immune to my Rider effect. That's so sad. Let's see. Then that, and then that. And we should be good to go. Yeah, we're nowhere near danger of dying. Especially not from Terry. For all this talk of him being the most powerful swordsman in the world, he's really not that difficult at all. In fact, he's quite weak, to be honest. In fact, we're doing more damage to ourselves than he's ever been able to do to us, which is hilarious enough. Ooh, we got a new scholar rank and learned Insulatal. That's actually going to come in really good handy in the future. Not soon, but eventually.
Well, well. fine victory, but I expected nothing less. It looks like it's been left up to me to defeat you. But just before that, let me just... There. It's no fun to do battle with opponents in a weakened state. Come, Rex. Allow me the pleasure of engaging you in battle. On guard.
This is Dhuran. Don't let his six-pack intimidate you. He is not that bad to fight because we have Forbearance. So what Dhuran can do, his attack pattern is random, but he has a 50-50 chance to attack twice. He has Harvest Moon, which basically does damage to all enemies. The damage is 3 times his physical damage divided by the number of targets he actually hits with Harvest Moon, so it won't be that painful. It'll be like 3/4 damage at least, but you know. He has a regular physical attack that does slightly more damage than it ordinarily would be. He has Wind Sickles, which is actually a really damaging move. He has an ability to attack 3 party members with half damage. He can cast Bound, and he can use Disruptive Wave, which is the real bad part. So, yeah. Basically what Disruptive Wave does, I explained this earlier because Rex actually has that, it strips all magical effects off of the party. Buffs, debuffs, the works. And that's not good, because we like buffs, they make us more powerful. So, what we're going to have Rex do is we're going to have him use the Sword of Ramius on himself. And we're going to have Carver use Forbearance. Because of the way Forbearance works, if he uses Disruptive Wave, it only strips Carver of his buffs, and it does it 4 times instead of stripping the entire party of their buffs, because he takes the hit for everyone. We're going to have Amos cast Buff on Carver, both to reduce the amount of damage Carver's going to take, because Lord, he's going to take a lot in this fight, but also so that it incentivizes Dhuran to use Disruptive Wave. We're also going to have Millie buff Carver as well. Let's see. There we go, buff. Ow. Yeah, that was Harvest Moon he just did there after Wind Sickles. So yeah, we want to have Rex use the Sword of Ramius on himself and on Amos. That's the real reason why I brought Amos along, is for the Sword of Ramius. We're going to have Amos buff Carver. We're going to have Millie. Now instead of buff, we're going to have her use either mid-heal or full heal. I haven't decided which, probably mid-heal. Where are my healing spells at? There they are. I probably could have actually stood to use full heal, but that's okay. We're really going to need to use full heal soon. And now, since Rex has Focus Strength, we're going to have him use Focus Strength. Amos does not, so he's just going to use his most powerful attack. Dhuran has 50-50 resistance to Knuckle Sandwich, so that's probably not going to be the best way to deal damage, but it is what it is. We could, by the way, use Amos for Forbearing instead of Carver, since Amos can do that too, and Carver can also probably buff him. But I would rather use Carver because as a gladiator, he has way more resilience and HP, and that's what we need out of this fight. So, let's see. I don't think Amos actually has a super great ability for dealing damage outside of Knuckle Sandwich, so oh well. Well, he has multi-fists. I guess that could work. I'll try that out if this doesn't fall. If this falls through. Yeah, there's that quick attack. Yeah, that wasn't gonna work. So yeah. Let's see. We could Knuckle Sandwich him with Rex. We could Double-Edged Slash with Rex. Double-Edged Slash is a little less sustainable, but oh well. Oh, that's really not gonna do it. Oh well. Oh yeah, we have double up. That's a significantly smarter move to use in that situation. Still not very good, but he doesn't have focus strength. And the nice thing with Double Edge Slash on Rex is that he has gear that heals him, so I don't actually need to worry too much about keeping him alive. Let's see. Let's do the hustle. There he is. And we should be good for now. Dhuran has 3,000 HP, just like Stormsgate Citadel, so this fight actually shouldn't last very long, but there you go. Let's see. He doesn't have any resistance at all to Frizz, Bang, or Zap, but he has Bound, so using those could be a little risky. You can just use Disruptive Wave to get rid of that, though, if you really wanted to, but Rex's turns are better spent on Double Edge Slash in this fight than they are on letting your mage actually deal damage. Which is kind of story of my life, but, you know. Everything else probably isn't going to work super well, though. One of these days, that ability is just going to end him, and I'm looking forward to it. Not the actual Double Edge Slash, but like the Rider effect afterwards. Remember when Double Up used to kill things? I remember. Although Amos probably has a really bad weapon too, now that I'm thinking about it, but, you know, it really do be that way. Man, the Dread Fiends, they just get easier and easier as we go along, don't they? I mean, granted, without Forbearance, this fight's very different, so that's fair. And there's Disruptive Wave neutralizing the magic effect on Dhuran, so we're gonna have to kill Dhuran. Okay, I was gonna say we're gonna have to rebuff Carver, but you know what? Killing Dhuran works too. And we got a Gladiator level out of that too. Nice.
Outstanding. I have been totally and utterly defeated. But this is not the end. I favor the strong, and there is something I wish you to know. Murdaugh, Jamiras, Gracos, and myself are mere minions. Our leader is Mortimer. You humans refer to him as the Archfiend. With his vast array of powers, even we Dread Fiends wouldn't stand the slightest chance against him. You must become more powerful. Only then can you even hope to withstand his might. Rex, I pray we meet again in our next lives. Then we can do battle once more.
If you bring Millie for this part, you get some special dialogue. Although I think she comes out of the wagon if you don't have her. I knew it. I knew it was you. Terry, don't you recognize me? Don't act like you know me. Why should I recognize you? I suppose it has been a long time. Long enough to forget. After everything that's happened, I don't think most people would remember. But you remember. I know you do. You remember the town of Felonia, you remember the people there, and you remember me. No way. Millie? Is that you? My sister? Terry! Millie! How could I not have recognized you? You were right there. It's okay, Terry. It's my fault. I've seen you so many times, and yet I never said anything. Back then, if I'd possessed even half the power I do now, I swear I'd have protected you. Don't worry about it, Terry. That's all behind us now. That wasn't anyone's fault. It's more important that you listen to me now. Terry, I'm not the one who needs your strength. I want you to use all that power you've accumulated to help us save the world. Terry, you'll join us, won't you? Millie. Hardy har! That's that. Another handyman for our motley crew, eh? Old Amos can't wait to do battle shoulder to shoulder with such a powerful warrior. And we get our final human party member. Terry finally joins the party. And he is really freaking good. We'll take a look at him as soon as we get back outside of Stormsgate, because unfortunately both of them just headed to the wagon without any real rhyme or reason. So let's head on out of Stormsgate. And now that we've completed that, Stormsgate has moved back to the real world and transformed a little bit. Or not real world, dream world. So yeah, the shrine does nothing now, but oh well. Anyway, let's change our lineup real quick now that we've got a new friend to join us along the way. This is Terry. He starts off at level 28, because realistically, you're probably supposed to be at about that level by now, but you know what? We're way over level. He has mastered warrior and martial artist already, and he starts as a 1-star gladiator. But yeah. In the iOS version, because he clearly wasn't busted enough already, he also starts with mage and priest mastered, so you could set him on paladin right away if you really wanted to. And he's probably honestly better off that way, to be honest, but oh well. He's got really good agility and pretty nice strength to go along with it. Maybe not quite as good as Amos, but he's also leveled. But yeah. So yeah, he's got some nice skill going for him as a much faster attacker, if maybe not quite as resilient as some of the other tanks are. But I mean, that's what we have Carver for, so like, you know. He's actually going to take the bench spot for a little while. I haven't quite decided what I want to do with Terry just yet. I want him in the party, but I haven't decided what class I'm going to take him on as. So, yeah. Anyway, we're way over time on this episode, so next time on Let's Play Dragon Quest VI, we're going to go back up to the Dream World and see what we just unlocked. See you guys then!